Great loss, this time at the hands of Giannis, Dame, and the Bucks, who snapped their own three-game losing streak. LeBron James missed a second straight game due to a left groin strain. The Lakers are in the midst of one of their toughest stretches of the season, not just because of their opponents, due to their postponements. They're the only team to play 6 games in an 8-day span this season, and they'll face the Nuggets twice during this run. Now, this is a special treat. We get to bring in my guy, Peter Rosenberg, looking clean. How are we feeling?
Treat for you, Molly. Treat for me. I'm excited to be. And I'm getting Stephen A. in rare form on a Friday.
Yeah, you are.
This is good. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you are.
Yo, man, welcome to the show. And I must say, you're looking sharp. I've never seen you dressed this sharp, Peter. I'm very proud.
Always. He thinks he's
very
fashion
proud.
police.
I'm very proud. We have a standard here on
nice.
First Take, Molly, and he has met the standard.
Will you plug your show really quickly, your radio show on ESPN?
Oh, absolutely. Every afternoon, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7 right here on ESPN New York. You can listen around the world on the ESPN New York app.
All right.
And, Stephen, I did it for you. I knew you'd want the fresh new suit. I came clean for you. I got you.
Damn right.
All right.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Alan Hahn, by the way, Molly, is doing a damn good job now that Michael K., the great Michael K., has departed from that afternoon drive show. Alan Hahn is doing a great job, and my man Don Juan LaGreca. We cannot start this show with Peter without mentioning Don Juan. We got to give love to Don Juan.
Quite the trio. So good to have you here with us.
Thank you.
All right, Asa, I'm going to start with you. How far can the Lakers fall before we need to be worried about their postseason ambitions?
Hell, we need to be worried right now based on what we've seen the last 3 games. Particularly the last 2 without LeBron James. They're a shell of themselves right now. We understand that. And the reality is they got to get it together because J.J. Redick applauded their effort last night after abhorring their effort against Brooklyn a couple of games before, a couple of nights before against Brooklyn. So their effort was there last night, but they were playing against a superior team because Milwaukee is superior to them if they don't have LeBron James, and that's what you're looking at right now. Here's where it gets dangerous. When we fantasize about the Lakers and potentially making the Western Conference Finals, considering the way LeBron has played and the way Luka has been coming on, the combination of the two changes everything in terms of the fortunes for the Los Angeles Lakers. With those two on the court together healthy, there is no question that the Lakers can get to the Western Conference Finals, without a doubt, okay? And they can compete for a chance at the championship. But without LeBron James at age 40 in his 22nd season, which is just a testament to his greatness, without him, we see how the Los Angeles Lakers look. And here's where it really gets dicey. Even if the Lakers are healthy, have you seen the Oklahoma City Thunder this year? Have you seen how elite they are defensively? See, everybody's looking at them as the number 1 seed last year and comparing them to this year. What they are missing is the fact that they picked up Hartenstein in the offseason from the Knicks, which was a devastating loss for the New York Knicks, regardless of how good the New York Knicks have looked at times this year. That's a devastating loss for them. And on top of it all, they picked up Alex Caruso. So you had cats like Dort, like Shea, like Jalen Williams and these others who can play defense, young thoroughbreds, fresh legs, can get after it, athletic, et cetera, et cetera. But not only did you add size and defense to your front line in Hartenstein and joined Chet Holmgren, but you also got defense on the perimeter being assisted with Alex Caruso. So they've upgraded defensively, and in every statistical category defensively, they're number 1. And so I don't see how anybody can look at the Lakers and think that the Lakers definitively can knock off OKC. And the harder they fall in these standards without LeBron James, the sooner they will face OKC, which is a nightmare.
Peter, where are you on this?
Stephen, eventually, that's exactly the point that I feel. I don't worry about this Lakers team without LeBron James. They can fall as far as they need to as long as they don't end up as the 8th seed when the playoffs start. So if they can hover around, and even, frankly, if they go to a play-in game and can ensure themselves, they just cannot end up as the 8th seed to start up. Now, is there a world in which I think that Luka Doncic and LeBron James could come together and that magic that Stephen A. was alluding to?
Yeah.
Could that be enough for them in the playoffs to really go on a run? I do believe that. You don't want that to be in the first round, though, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm not truly worried about where they are at this moment. I am worried about what is the timeline for LeBron James coming back to this team.
Marcus?
That's right.
Look, both of you guys said it. It's about LeBron. And the crazy thing is, to your point, Stephen A., the ultimate respect. We talking about a 40-year-old in his 22nd year changing the outcome of a playoff run by a basketball team in 2025, which is the reality with LeBron James. But I focus more on not just the basketball, the cerebral nature in which he plays the game. A lot of people talk about his effectiveness and the points and the rebounds and the ability to play the game at a very high level. The confidence that permeates throughout the rest of the basketball team matters in the playoffs. And let's not act like we haven't seen this. And obviously, we all mention 40 years old because we've seen LeBron take teams at times to NBA finals that weren't considered as good and either push teams to game sevens or even win them. Come back down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. The other thing we can't forget is Hachimura didn't play as well. And he was coming on and playing well for this team as well when we start talking about not only defense, you talked about how OKC defends the perimeter. Let me say this for everybody in the world. There is not one soul in the NBA that can defend LeBron James or Luka Doncic. Now, they may have a bad night shooting. They may have an issue with just them individually. But as good as your team is and you think you are defensively, with those two dudes on the floor, not only does it change how you defend, you also got to decide which one of those guys are you going to let get there so you can take care of everybody else, which is why the trade mattered when we start talking about the overall picture of this team in the playoffs. Stephen A., I was watching you a couple weeks ago. You talked about the Lakers potentially being able to make a run, and that was when LeBron James was healthy and playing at a very high level. I will not dismiss the fact that LeBron James and Luka Doncic are on the same team and the level in which they elevate their games once they get into the playoffs. Now, health is an issue for everybody. Age, I'm not talking about that with LeBron. He's already defied it. There's no sense in talking about him running out of gas or being too tired as the playoffs come along. I think this team will be fine. When we when we talk about winning a championship, they are going to have outer worldly performances. We all understand that. But they have. And we've seen it in playoffs. Luka took his team to the championship 2 years ago by himself, basically. And when he got injured, obviously Kyrie was out there, but it wasn't the same. I think these guys, not fine, but Stephen A., they can make a run if health permits when they get into the playoffs.
Well, I think I'm going a step further. I think they could beat anybody in the West but OKC. I pencil them in as a victory against anybody in the West other than OKC if they are healthy. But here's where it gets interesting. So they don't have LeBron last night. Luka drops 45. What does Doc Rivers say? It's Luka. We kind of knew he was going to get his. We kind of made sure we guarded him one-on-one. We didn't double him. We sort of dared anybody else to beat us, knowing they couldn't do it. Now, the combination of Luka and LeBron's on the court makes it very interesting because when LeBron wasn't on the court, Luka held on to the ball a lot. They were in ISO situations. He was the ball hog. Others weren't nearly as involved as they could have been because he damn near moves in slow motion sometimes. But with LeBron on the court, even though the ball is in his hands, he gets rid of it quicker because you got LeBron resembling a damn wideout for crying out loud. The combination of those two things opens the floor up for other shooters and for other teams, for other guys to get open shots. Those guys are going to have to hit those open shots in order to beat a team the caliber of OKC.
Yeah. You know who hit some shots last night? UConn. All right, we'll keep it rolling, guys. When we come back on First Take, you saw what happened at the Garden Big East tourney. Steph shot his way into the history books last night. Steve